Hey, how's it going? Far Cry 5 has been quite the ride, but now that I've wrapped up the main story and almost platinumed the game, I thought it would be a good idea to look ahead and see what the future has in store for us with the DLC. So the Season Pass was announced before the game's release, and it details 3 separate packs for our enjoyment. But what's really cool is that the devs scattered little Easter eggs and hints in the game that make reference to these upcoming expansions. Let's take a closer look at what we might expect. First, we have the Hours of Darkness DLC, where we will listen to Wendell Redler recount his glory days in war-torn Vietnam. You can actually meet Red in the main game in John's region. He will task you with a side mission where you can retrieve a collection of engraved lighters that once belonged to all of his squad mates. I took the time to explore Red's home for any possible little clues. Over in the wall here, you can see we have a framed newspaper article that says 40 years later escaping Nam. And if you look at the counter down here, we also have a thank you note addressed to Uncle Red. It says, "Thank you for being with my father at the end. I know it meant a lot to him. He always talked about you and the rest of his squad. He may never have said it, but I know he loved you guys like brothers." So I believe that this is going to be a brothers in arms story about a tight group of soldiers trying to escape the Valcon. When Old Red gives you this fetch quest, it obviously means that he is the last survivor of the squad. And the fact that there are 12 lighters in total means that logically there should be at least 12 characters in the DLC that survive the war and make it back home. Which sounds like a lot of people that need their own dialogue and unique character models. So my only concern is how long the story will be, and if it will be long enough for me to care about all 12 squad mates. I guess only time will tell. Here is a spoiler alert if you haven't finished the main story past Jacob. If you've made your way to the top of Hope County, you may have come across this place called the St. Francis Veteran Center, which could also feature in the Hours of Darkness DLC. I did some research into the name St. Francis and stumbled across a St. Francis of Assisi from the 13th century, who later became associated with animals and the natural environment. What's interesting here is that there is a legend that tells of a ferocious wolf that devours men as well as animals. St. Francis approached the wolf, and when he found it, he commanded the wolf to hurt no one in the name of God. Miraculously, the wolf closed his jaws and lay down at Francis's feet. Now, if you haven't finished Jacob's region yet, there is actually a connection here between St. Francis of Assisi and Far Cry 5. In the game, Jacob also trains vicious wolves, but uses a combination of music and bliss and lures them in with wolf beacons. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. The attention to detail in this game with its lore and world building.
The collapse is upon us.
For the second DLC, we have Lost on Mars. Nick Rye, the King of the Skies, is ready to go literally above and beyond to discover uncharted territories. Once you're stranded on the Red Planet, your mission is simple: stop the Martian arachnid invasion and get back home safely. So it seems like a straightforward plot. The description says the enemy will be Martian arachnids being spiders. In the main game, and again in John's region, there is a side mission that has us meet Larry Parker, an eccentric mad scientist. In Larry's house now, you can look around and he's got a poster of Mars here, as you can see. And the game also has a reference in the way of a collectible comic called Lost on Mars. And on the wall here you can see that this is a bit of an obsession for old mate Larry. Again, spoiler alert, after running a few errands for the guy, you will be tasked with one final request to switch on a generator. This will teleport Larry so that he can go off and save the galaxy from an alien invasion. What's neat is that if you step into the teleporter with him after switching it on, you will get a little glimpse of what appears to be a spider-like creature in a red coloured environment, and looks a lot like what they show us in the DLC trailer. In the description, it does say that Nick Rye will be discovering uncharted territory, so I'm thinking that perhaps poor Larry may have teleported at the wrong place at the wrong time, and may not have a big role in this story after all. Dead Living Zombies. This is the third DLC. B-movie director Guy Marvel is destined to be the next big thing, just ask him. Join him in 7 hilarious scenarios to take on hordes and hordes of undead zombies. So this sounds like a straight up horde mode. Something we've probably all played before in some form or another. I'm hoping for a little more than that, but we shall see. Again, we meet this character in the main game, but this time in Faith's region. You'll notice that Guy is an obnoxious character with a bit of a hot temperament. Again, here's a spoiler alert in case you want to experience this in the game for yourself, but when you meet Guy, he will hire you on the spot to act out an action scene in his upcoming micro-budget film Blood Dragon 3. This is where the player will have to lure angels into a cave and perform a variety of specific stunts like headshots, explosive kills, and a death from above. Now, I wonder how it's going to shake out, because in the DLC it looks like what you're fighting are real zombies and not angels or actors on a set. It says 7 hilarious scenarios, so I'm expecting a lot of fun and diverse levels. But what I would think would be hilarious is if during filming an actual zombie outbreak did occur, and it just becomes a real game about survival. Well, that's what I'm hoping for, and it's not that far-fetched for a Far Cry game where lots of supernatural things happen. Season Pass holders also get Far Cry 3 on top of these 3 lots of content drops, which, from what I understand, is regarded as the best Far Cry game for a lot of players. Personally, I haven't played 3. I played the first Far Cry as well as 4, Primal, and now 5, but I can't wait to eventually get around to playing 3. It currently holds a very healthy Metacritic score of 88. So yeah, no release dates have been announced yet, but overall I'm looking forward to the Season Pass content and the adventures in these new environments away from Montana. I think there's a lot of fun to be had here and hopefully some good ideas for new videos. And that's all I have today. Thanks for hanging out and watching this video, and feel free to give it a like if you want to see more, and let me know which DLC you are most excited for and if you think Far Cry 5 beats Far Cry 3. As always, my name is Dizar. I'll see you on the next one.